Boom. All right. I will look for the YouTube video to go live for me. And I'll give it a quick countdown.
Teds, we're live.
We are. And we will start this hootenanny momentarily. I was just going to say, Cody, you've got your headphones in? All right. Colton?
Yep.
All right. And I see Mr. The Adequate's headphones.
Yep.
Wow, YouTube, you are serious on this video delay from my broadcast. All right, there we go. And there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to A3K Live. And we are just about to get started. And also, shout out to DiamondClub.tv. Thank you very much for your broadcast. And we have audio, and I will count it down. What's up, cats and kittens? Welcome to the A3K podcast, powered by the fine folks at anime3000.com, the future of anime and manga and all that wonderful weeaboo business that you all know and love, whether you want to admit it or not, shall be broadcast by Anime3000 and live on the interwebs through YouTube at A3K TV. My name is David Majors. I am the host of this show, and I am joined by a fantastic panel, as always, from the cast and crew of Anime3000.com. Joining us first, he is one half of the Manga Corner. Colton, what is up, good sir?
Hi, guys. Boy, it is Sausage Fest this week. But hey, that's cool.
Yes, indeed. My regular co-host, Jack D. Tyler D., unfortunately is feeling a little bit under the weather, so I will wish her a quick and speedy recovery.
Get better, Jack.
Get better, Jack, and come back soon. Next this evening, writer for A3K, Mr. Christopher Kinsey, a.k.a. Dean the Adequate. Mr. the Adequate, sir! Thank you again for joining us.
Greetings and salutations.
Greetings and salutations, hello, and welcome once again. Now, who's that I see over there? Who is that? Oh, look who it is. Oh, come on now, ladies and gentlemen. Is that? Who was? Oh, there. What? I do believe that's Cody Byer, the host of The Other Side. Cody Byer, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, Cody?
The monster is here. Everybody hide your opinions.
Oh, it's America's sweetheart, the voice of a generation.
I like this stuff.
The A3K,
Sorry.
the A3K Network's loving spoonful himself, Mr. Cody Byer. Gentlemen, let's do this damn thing. First thing up. 4 words, gentlemen. Death Note, the musical.
Done.
All right, Colton, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Coming in from I already love it.
You know,
Coming
it'd be
from
great if the music were in the style of the music in High School Musical.
that works almost.
I can't claim to know a lot about
Don't kill the folks you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Byer knows High School Musical.
Of course I have. I've seen the riff tracks of it like 20,000 times. It's the funniest goddamn thing on earth.
Okay, the riff tracks. Okay.
Yeah, I can.
All right.
I have seen it so many times. I can't think of the songs from that movie without the riff tracks jokes popping into my head.
Very believable cover story, Cody.
Hey, I can recite the jokes. I can recite the jokes right now if you want.
If you
We all
close that door right there, you'll see a big poster from Justin to Kelly or whatever that was. I don't know.
I'll make fun of you as soon as I get my references straight.
Well, yes, this week we saw the debut of Death Note the Musical, which is exactly what it sounds like, from the Tokyo Nisei Theater, running from April 6th to the 29th, and then heading to Osaka and Nagoya. It's going national. This thing's
they won't
blowing
appreciate
up.
Naka. They just won't get it. It's not
This
too
thing is
too
gonna go
highbrow.
world- I swear, this is gonna go worldwide.
No.
I love everything about this.
Come on, Death Note was already hard enough to take seriously. Why you gotta drag it down? That's my only
Hey.
question.
You gonna speak ill of Death Note? I'll come down there. I will do things to you that you've only seen in Oz. And
Hey.
I'm not talking about the magical land.
The thing about Death Note is it worked very well as a comic. It worked very well as a suspense.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know if a musical can be, because they've tried this a lot of other times.
The
It's
worst
like,
idea in the world.
I'm a
Singing
genius. I'm the smartest guy in my school,
I'm gonna get
and
him.
I'm kind of a dick.
I'm gonna get him. What am I gonna have to do to get Kira?
Because it was just as planned.
Keikaku means plan. Keikaku means plan.
That would be the off-Broadway. That's when they take it for high school kids, when they have to do their high school musical. That's in real life. Not that thing you watch.
I decide.
Poise. Grace.
That couldn't have been any
A3K.
more perfect, David.
And David, you're silent.
No.
Oh no, you're still
Oh
silent.
no!
Well, the monkeys now have the key to the banana plantation.
All
Well,
right.
boys,
Cool.
now
Go,
that David's gone,
go,
we're talking about what
go.
I wanted to
I
talk
do
about.
like
Go.
bananas.
Go. Do it. Go. Go.
Go.
Do it, Cody.
Gadget.
You take. I'm
You're,
going
you're
to
officially in charge. You're
right.
officially in charge,
Alright, we're
Cody.
not talking
Go.
about the fucking
Oh,
Death
boy.
Note musical anymore. We're going to talk about the next thing that's on the whole thing. We're going to talk about, now, as you folks may have heard, Regular Show recently had a new episode. Now, normally that's been kind of a, what do I care? I don't know. I mean, it was funny for a while, but then you start doing relationship, love triangle between two birds and a cloud. I don't give a fuck. But guess what? They stopped doing that and they said, hey, you know what'd be funny? What? Fucking, let's just make fun of mecha anime. That'd be fucking hilarious. We haven't done that. Let's do it. And they said, okay, let's do it. And then they did Regular Show, Brilliant Century Duck Crisis. And we're going to talk about it because we're a fucking anime podcast. We talk about anime shit. We're fucking popular show parody anime. We're going to do it. We're going to fucking do it. In the show notes, probably in the show notes, you can catch a link to that opening. That opening alone was fucking hilarious.
It was great. It was really good.
Boku wa shinji, boku wa baby da. She was fucking
You know,
hilarious.
I've only seen the opening, and I have seen so many people putting comparisons from famous mech anime to the episode, and I'm going to have to check that out after the cast. I know that. Do that before I hit this.
It had a little bit of everything. It had a little Neon Genesis Evangelion. It had a little bit of Gundam. It had a little bit of the Team of 5 Super Sentai stuff. And it was, the best way I can describe it was that it was the best 20-something minute OVA that I've seen in years. It was terrific.
As I said before we started recording, when we were just kind of shooting the shit, I've been watching a lot of Steven Universe to get ready for another side podcast, and with all its just blatant, hey, you like this because we're going to reference this, and it's something you know. I had forgotten what real parody felt like. So this was so nice. This was like when someone's holding you underwater trying to drown you, and then you get that moment where you go, like that's what that felt like. Like, here's a bunch of hipster references and needless chiptune music. The Regular Show. That's
Now,
right now.
No one is forcing you to continue watching Steven Universe.
Kind of. My podcast is. Because we're doing an episode on it because it was really, everybody's fucking talking about it, and so we're like, let's take a look at this. And then Max Vader first started taking a look at this, and he fucking tore a new asshole. And so this was so entertaining. It's like, oh my god, this needs to be an episode of the other side. Andrew Erickson, go start watching Steven Universe. I'm going to start watching Steven Universe. And I'm going to die. Save me.
Now, Colton,
Save me from this hell.
you were the
David.
first one to kind of introduce me to Steven Universe. I had only caught it in passing. I had only caught it in passing before I got more of a recommendation from you from it. So I'm very much in the middle on the whole Steven Universe thing. I let it be. I say let it do its thing. Because I don't care. I'll admit it. I like chiptune music. So yeah, and I've said many times I'm a fucking hipster. I don't care. So Colton, I want to know. What are the things about Steven Universe that you have enjoyed?
Please do tell.
You will get muted, Mr. Beyer. You will get muted.
Well, I'll be honest. When I first tried Steven Universe, I didn't really. I mean, I thought it was cute, but you know, I just kind of let it be. Like it was better than Clarence. I kind of like.
Cody, listen to me. Listen to me. Cody.
Yes.
We're stripping everything down. Do not watch Clarence.
Never intend to.
I don't care what anybody, any single other side fan tells you. Do fucking not watch Clarence.
Something tells me a lot of other side fans probably aren't watching Clarence.
Yeah, it's not blowing up that big. He's not going to have to do anything.
People are going to try and say, oh, if you hate Steven Universe, you got to check out that. Don't do it, Cody.
Yeah, they do that.
Don't do it.
I don't think people are saying that. I don't know. I like Steven Universe because I actually quite enjoy a lot of the characters in the show, and I like the way a lot of them are written too. I think I'm very interested in a lot of the relationships that kind of grow throughout the show, and I think that's what really keeps me watching the show. Really.
I don't know. Normally, when I see a show and it's like, oh, these characters are written really great, usually that's because they're not just an archetype by itself, written by people that don't know the difference between a pearl and a gemstone. But and generally, not a lot of, oh, these characters don't have genders. Now, if you'll excuse me, let's give them all tits and dresses. No, they're not women. They're not women. Do not misgender them.
I am someone that is willing to let a lot on the internet go because I'm no better than most of it. I'm no better, so I won't be a hypocrite that way. But when those kinds of things, when people try and play the it's never been specifically specified what they are game.
Well, the creators went and said that. The creators went and said, no, they don't have an actual gender. It's like, no, you're full of shit. Not since the guys that did Legend of Korra tried to say, no, we totally put in a lesbian relationship. You just didn't see it. Not since then have creators of a show been so full of shit.
I kind of saw it in season 2.
No.
First of all, the creator said it's there since season 3, so you're not seeing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You were wishing.
I saw some things. I saw little flashes.
just to put the nail in the coffin. I don't know if anyone's heard that episode, The Other Side, where we killed that. I brought in a bisexual couple in a homosexual relationship, and asked them, "You guys lived this? Did you see this happen?" And they both said with a resounding no.
Really?
No.
Because I will honestly say that sometime in season 2 it was like, are they really doing that?
Well, you'd be wrong because, again, they're bullshit. They try to say, no, since season 3 we've been doing this. So whatever you saw in season 2, that's on you.
You know, it's kind of sad. I see more representation of that in Steven Universe than I do in Korra, which is kind of sad.
And that's also bullshit because it's based. First of all, no, they don't have a gender. They're not really lesbians. No, we're super progressive. We're super progressive. We're going to put lesbians that are totally romantically in love in a children's cartoon, but we're going to make one of them look really much a lot like a boy, so you can't really tell because we're brave, but we're not that brave, guys. Come on now.
Letters are scary.
It's the same fucking Tumblr-y progressive motherfuckers. Are just like, look at what we put in a kids show. We're so fucking brave. Look at fucking, we love ourselves. Look how everybody compliment us while we're busy complimenting ourselves.
And I say that's all right. You know, it's a circle jerk, sure,
But circle
it's
jerks
not
make for terrible television. Steven Universe is an excellent example of that. Let's just throw in representation. I don't even care anymore. It doesn't even matter if it doesn't make sense. Representation. Oh, the gems don't have actual bodies. They can look however they want. Well, then why would they choose to look like a fat girl when they're fighting? That is the least advantageous form you could take in combat.
I don't know. There's like superheroes that like ball themselves up and like stuff themselves up of supervillains' tailpipes or whatever they have to do to be the
But they're not
potato.
doing that.
Honk out the giant thing.
Steven,
Samus.
But if you can turn into anything,
Well,
like,
well.
aren't they all just shapeshifters? So why not have a show about that? Have a bunch of shapeshifters, and I don't know. I watched the first episode. Kid got powers by eating a cookie. I'm like, I can see that, but at the same time, it's like,
well, it turns out he
I'm too old
didn't.
for this shit.
It wasn't the cookies. It's because he believed in himself and wanted to protect his friends.
I believe in the
There's
cookie.
nothing wrong, Cody, with as much anime as you've watched over your life, you know that there's nothing wrong with the power of friendship.
The power of friendship sucks. That's why even the good shows that have that, the coolest shit is the other stuff. Like One Piece is great, but who gives a fight for our crew and our friend? Fuck that. Look at these villains. Look at this mafia boss. Look at this dude in a big fucking pink coat, cuts things with strings. Fuck this. Oh, we're best buddies. Bullshit. Fuck that. That's lame. That's lame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Byer hates friendship.
I love friendship. I just hate the power of friendship.
You know, honestly, if you told me that, I wouldn't believe it, or I would believe it. I'm sorry. But David, let's get back to regular show real quick. What did you think of the episode? Because I know you're a big mech guy. You live and breathe that stuff.
Nope, it's not true.
No, okay, I guess I was wrong then.
When I watched this, it was about 30 or 40 minutes after it aired. I DVR'd it, and I saw a tweet from Colton saying this was like a wonderful tribute to mech anime. It's like, what you talking about, Colton? What's regular show up to this time? Because if you remember, in recent episodes of regular show, they did a thing where they did this whole thing referencing Kill la Kill. They made Kill la Kill look better than Kill la Kill could ever make itself look. They did Kill la Kill way better than Kill la Kill.
Real quick before it scrolls past and I forget all about it, Evil Squid Boy, I have seen Korgoth of Barbaria. I fucking loved Korgoth of Barbaria.
I wish they would have did that.
Yeah, and I am pissed off to this day that they did not make that a show solely because it cost too much. So why we got seasons worth of fucking China, Illinois, we'll never get Korgoth, the TV series, and that will never stop pissing me off. So yes, I have seen and loved Korgoth.
Welcome to Eltingville.
Don't.
I liked that show.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. I was wondering, for some reason, I don't know what I thought you were referring to. For some reason, I thought maybe Moral Oral. Ugh. I remember both now.
Yeah, but
yeah, this episode of regular show, it was really well done. It wasn't reference.
Mm-hmm.
There was a story, and it had some continuity to some previous episodes, and it referenced actual things from the regular show universe and the regular show lore. Of course, the opening sequence showing all of its almost shot-for-shot tags to Neon Genesis Evangelion were really good. There were some references to Mobile Suit Gundam, lots of Ava, lots and lots and lots of Ava. Holy shit, I think J.G. Quintel was an Ava kid. He might have been on the interwebs writing essays about Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I doubt it. The way it kind of...
I think he might have been.
Because you have to remember there's a writing staff. It's not J.G. Quint. It's not like South Park where it's one of the creators writing everything.
Somebody on the team at regular show was one of the kids writing essays about Ava. Because you don't do that much Ava without, writing.
Well, that's also the easiest. That's also the most low-hanging fruit if you're going to make fun of mecha anime.
Yeah. I also appreciated that they had some really good robot transformation sequences. Very Power Rangers, which I appreciated. And the whole thing about fighting in space and blowing up the moon and using the moon as a weapon and somebody coming from the future to save mankind. It had all of these wonderful giant robot things, which I will say I will give it a thumbs up. I gave Brilliant Century Duck Crisis a thumbs up. Not quite 2 thumbs up, but I will give it 1.
Yeah,
I would say it was pretty good.
Yeah, as much as I haven't really been digging regular show lately, this is the episode that's sort of convincing me to maybe get back into it a little bit, maybe catch up on what I've been missing. But it's funny, David. I think I told you the other day I just started watching Gundam Wing for the first time, and
Is that a fact? Have you been watching Gundam Wing?
Shut up, Cody.
General Septum.
Even I caught on to I think near the end they even had that little shot of the ruined teddy bear near the end of the episode, and that made me think, Gundam Wing. And I thought that was kind of a neat little nod.
I thought maybe they were missing some things in their parody. I thought there were some things, maybe some people they could have included reference to.
Although they did appropriately blow up the Earth. They did destroy the planet.
As long as that happened,
few
that's all that
survivors.
matters.
Yes, there were pretty much no survivors.
And then the sitcom ending was like the perfect way they could have ended that.
Oh, they didn't do congratulations?
No, they went 80s sitcom style instead.
That's a different kind of congratulations.
With regular show, it works just as well.
I would have been fine with either, honestly. I'm surprised they didn't go for that reference, though.
I'm just glad that the folks at regular show did not try and work in some type of reference to masturbation. I'm just glad that didn't happen.
That would have been horrible.
How angry would you be if I did the rest of this podcast like General Septum?
Cody, you know me. I would love it.
Well, fantastic!
By all means, Cody Byer. If you want to do General Septum for the rest of the show, you are more than welcome.
I feel like I would get that.
In fact, Cody, I dare you.
Well, unfortunately for you, I'm not the kind of person that does something just because they were dared to do it.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Cody
Byer
Byer
hates
hates
from time
fun.
to time.
Okay, he doesn't hate fun that much.
Not that much.
Here's the story that I saw, and it was just... I saw this, and it confirmed. Akira Toriyama has gone full fanfic, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus Christ.
The latest, coming from Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, is Goku has a new transformation, you guys, and it will be called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. I can't even finish it.
Are you?
No, technically, that's not the name. The name it is him going Super Saiyan as a Super Saiyan God.
So it's Super Saiyanception.
Yes. Basically, Super Saiyan God is not a level of Super Saiyan. It's not like Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, and then God. Super Saiyan God is a whole separate thing. It's like a cosmic Kaioken. So
they are calling it Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
Well, that we haven't gotten the dub yet with Funimation making that sound like it doesn't sound stupid in English. That's the Japanese approximation of it. It is Super Saiyan God as a Super Saiyan.
If Funimation can find a way to not make that sound stupid, then I think every anime fan in the world should take back every single goddamn negative thing they've ever said about Funimation.
Oh, they should have done that. They should have done that the minute that their fanfic. They should have done that the minute their Baccano dub came out.
Mm-hmm.
But that I don't know. That's just stumbling, shitty Japanese English.
Now, most importantly from this, Goku now will have blue hair.
And Vegeta.
I don't actually see that as a problem, because what else are you going to do? You're going to have to symbolize that something has changed. So if you're going to do a real easy change to the character to symbolize that he has done something greater, I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to Hulk him out more? Or are you going to go full Hulk on him and like, oh, well, he's really angry now. I guess we'll make him 3 times bigger. His muscles will bulge. I mean, do you transform him completely? No. Goku, going back to roots here, he was based off of things like Superman. And the look of Goku, how he dresses, what his hair looks like, whatever form he is, that's iconic. They don't want to change that. And you don't want to change that to that kind of extent. Changing his hair blue symbolizes that he has had a change, but he's still Goku. And you don't have to make as many new molds for toys and stuff, I guess. Look, it just all works out on paper.
Also, Cody, you're right, as well as Packer Girl 89 in the chat room. Don't forget Vegeta, because Vegeta always has to get his shit in and then get beat up, because that's what Vegeta
From what I
does.
understand, I have not seen the movie, but from what I understand, that's a little different this time around.
I really hope so. I really hope
supposing
so.
Vegeta gets his time to shine in this movie, which has just got me all excited. We get Frieza's back, being the final boss that he was meant to be again. And now Vegeta's gonna get his time to shine. This was made for me. And then we get that F song in there.
Is he gonna cry again?
We got Frieza, we got Vegeta, and we got Metal. I'm surprised this ain't a Cody Pyre production, to be frank.
Yeah,
because Toriyama, we on the same wavelength, motherfucker.
Yeah, because as much character development as Vegeta got, he never really got the chance to really get his revenge on Frieza at all. That's like the one part of his character that never got resolved, unfortunately, because Goku came in and saved the day, like always.
Because Goku is better. Spoiler, Goku wins. He's John Cena. Get over it.
Technically, Vegeta was better before they made Goku the god. If you remember.
And Goku is the god now.
Because they chose him to be in the center of the prayer circle and made him the Super Saiyan. And even Vegeta was like, next time I get to be Super Saiyan God. So,
PD Rave, my good friend in the chat room, says Vegeta gets his shit in and gets beat up like he's Enzo Amore. Wrestling.
I've said it before and I've said it again. We like to focus on, Goku beats the bosses or whatever, but I don't think any of y'all realize Vegeta's the one that won. Compare everything else. Goku has died multiple times, and he's married to Chi-Chi. And his son, and look at what doofuses his kids ended up becoming. Whereas Vegeta is married to Bulma. He's got the titties and the money without the crazy, and one of his kids in an alternate timeline saved the future.
And Vegeta only died once, I believe.
Yeah. No, yeah, twice technically with Boo, but everybody died against Boo. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, Goku may beat the final boss, but once the battle is over, it is Vegeta who is the true winner. And kind of Krillin a little bit, because he got the even hotter blonde chick, which I think was his, penance for all the shit he went through. It's like, look, you've been beat up, you've been kicked around, you're like the second fiddle all the time. Look, here's the hot blonde chick. You just go hit that for the rest of your life. I'm Akira Toriyama. For some reason, I got this accent now. Have fun, baby.
It's...
All right then, Mr. Boopity Boppity. What does Yamcha get?
Nothing. He sucks.
See, that's funny. For as much shit as people give Krillin, at least Krillin is there, unlike Yamcha.
Yeah.
Yamcha is pretty pathetic.
Let's face it. Goku may be the hero, but when you take everything into account, he did not win in the end. For it was Vegeta with Krillin in second place, because Vegeta and Krillin got the hot babes, but Vegeta got the money, so he edges out.
Goku is still a god. He's a god.
Oh, but he's not going to be the only one in the new movie. Blink, 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 blink.
The real winners is us, because you get a new movie, right?
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
I brought this up on the other side, although you won't hear that episode for a few weeks, that this is the state of anime that we're in now, where all these greats of the past have had to come back to sort of fix this mess. Like, Watanabe.
Jackson Fall in the chat room, I think, nailed it. Yamcha got a cat. He got a cat. Which means he rules the internet.
But, you first had Watanabe coming back, and then you got, JoJo's back, Araki never went anywhere, but now he's got an anime series again. So it's like, you got all these greats coming back. Even Akira Toriyama, this is how bad anime has gotten. Akira Toriyama had to come back and make new Dragon Ball. He was done for years, and then anime sucked so bad, he's like, look, I'll make more Dragon Ball. Just stop. Just give them noses. Give them noses. Let these girls breathe. So
None of them look older than 15. What is wrong with you?
Well, have you seen this picture? It's the one blonde girl from K-On! And Jotaro Kujo, and it just says middle same age.
No, I avoid those things like the plague.
No, it's like two screenshots right next to each other. It's the blonde girl from K-On! And it's Jotaro from JoJo, and it just says in the middle, in between them, same age.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Because it's true. They're supposed to be the same age.
No, I avoid that stuff like the plague because I don't want to hurt myself.
I've seen worse.
I think you
I
can
like to
suspend your
enjoy my
disbelief a lot better than that. No reason you
I know
can't.
it's out there. I just don't need to see it.
If your belief is strong enough, you can get through stuff like that.
But I think in talking about Resurrection F, I think what this really shows us, what Battle of the Gods showed us, it kind of reminded us of why Dragon Ball Z is in the position that it's in. Because it's easy to forget with all the filler and with all the everybody only remembering fights because we were all 13 when we saw it, that there is a very, very, very good reason that this show and these characters were as influential as they are. And why, up until One Piece came around, Dragon Ball Z was the hot shit, the big kid on campus who pushed around all the nerds. And these films pretty much exist to remind all y'all little kids who seem to have forgotten because you're getting caught up in whatever pseudo-intellectual philosophical flavor of the month. Bullshit.
Shut up. Stop that.
Y'all seem to forgot your place and Dragon Ball's place. So these movies came back. And Kai came around and said, hey, remember that this shit had a story? It's easy to remember when the fights don't last as long, huh? If you ever need to see why, if you have not seen Dragon Ball Z, and you even need to see why it is in the position that it's in, Kai in the two new movies. And then you learn, you'll learn today about this Dragon Ball. About these Dragon Ball.
So, Cody, how was the red carpet premiere for Resurrection F? How was the red carpet premiere?
I wasn't there. I just kind of know some plot details. I wish I was there.
God, I wish I was there too.
Kind of, because it wasn't the dub that they premiered in that red carpet. It was the sub version. I want to see. I never thought, growing up as a teenager and being a more of an angry nerd and hating Funimation for that dub.
No.
Hating Funimation for that Dragon Ball Z dub. I would never thought I would say this in my life. If young me looked ahead and didn't know the context and he heard me say this, he'd think I was a damn dirty traitor. I'd prefer to see the new Dragon Ball Z movie in English. So
the world has changed, young Cody.
Yeah. So and apparently the dub comes out in a couple months.
Lots of things got better. Things got good. Things got good. And they got better.
So the dub is supposedly coming out in a couple months. So I'm hoping they put that in theaters too. I'm gonna be on that shit.
Almost certainly they will.
I'm on this shit.
Certainly they will.
Yeah.
Because Battle of the Gods did so well in theaters. I would think that it will be a license to print money for Funimation. They have to.
I'm only hoping it's a wider release, or at least something longer than 3 days or a full week, but I doubt that'll happen, though.
No, I'll say that it will at least be outside of the art house, where a lot of anime film releases are.
I really hope
so. Hipster! When I do go see the anime releases in the films, they're almost always in the art house theaters. The exception being Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, and by the way, AW Brawler, no. Dragon Ball did not have a better story than Dragon Ball Z. At all. Everybody likes to remember that because, the filler fights, the stretching. No. Dragon Ball started, let's go find these things. Here's a guy that turns people into carrots by touching them. Let's put him on the moon. Oh, here is the little blue imp. He wants to make a wish. Let us trip him up by wishing for panties. Now giant monkey comes and smashes them. No.
I will say that I have a very hard time watching Dragon Ball. It's not nearly as entertaining to me as it was. It's entertaining in a different way, but it just does not click for me.
If there was
also,
more adventure...
Word from Packer Girl 89, it will be out in theaters in July.
Thank you, Packer Girl. I'm going to be on that shit.
I don't know. I'm personally...
I might do a thing for that.
Personally, I like a lot of the original Dragon Ball, honestly. I think it's classic.
I found
it's
it
not-
very hard to watch. Like,
It's
I
not-
enjoyed Battle of the Gods because it had some of the elements from Dragon Ball, because that it didn't take itself too seriously. But fuck, if I'm watching something from Dragon Ball, I want some fucking violence.
Well, here-
I want violence. I want screaming. I want energy blasts. I want fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Here's the thing too.
Silliness.
Here's the thing too. A lot of people forget because of the way that it was dubbed here in America. Dragon Ball Z didn't take itself that seriously either. I mean, like when they brought it in America, and I guess this was perfect.
But it had no violence.
Oh, it had violence. It was just more,
Not enough.
Goku hits things with a stick instead of Goku hits things with a laser. That was pretty much Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. But like it's easy to forget because we had that original English dub with the Bruce Falconer music that they were pushing Dragon Ball Z as being super extreme, and I guess it worked. Look how fucking popular it got. But that's
It was extreme, Cody. It was extreme to the max.
No,
David, the final boss of Dragon Ball was this stretchy pink little demon with a tiny tentacle on his head that made teapot noises when he was mad. And was
talking
first
about the
introduced as a
Falconer
silly fat man.
I meant
Yeah.
the Falconer soundtrack.
Well, yeah, the Falconer soundtrack was good for villain themes, but it did not fit Dragon Ball Z at all.
No, it didn't. I mean, the thing is about, like, I guess the first half of the series, I guess the original Dragon Ball, is when you don't watch or read that part of the series, you're kind of missing out on a lot of Goku's real journey as he gets stronger and stronger and grows up and becomes the fighter that he turns into in Z.
Well,
Which-
the thing about it is, it's like you got Dragon Ball Z, and that's a lot more accessible if you're
Yeah.
older, and that makes sense because they were built for the kids growing up. You had your fun adventure, your charming little tales, and you had your things that kids like to do, which is roughhouse and beat up, and the innocence of Goku, his pure heart, and all that stuff got folded into it. And then Z was the way you kept your teenagers entertained, and that's easier to hold on to as an adult. That's a lot easier to say, I really enjoy this because I need to unwind with. It's like there are so many people out there who really love regular martial arts movies, and they keep making the same Wuxia, Sobchaki, Wire Fu. It looks fake. It's all a dance more than real martial arts, but it's entertaining as hell. So that's why, Z is always going to be this fondly remembered thing, whereas Dragon Ball is the thing is like, I'm done with Dragon Ball, I can put it away.
Well, Dragon Ball is popular to like better if you're an anime hipster because Z is what the kids like. But, I mean, Z was better in every way. I mean, for God's sakes, Akira Toriyama learned to draw. Because if you look at like some of the old Dragon Ball artwork, it's very plumpy, and he could not draw anyone that had abs. If you remember the infamous mono ab that Tenshinhan had, like he learned to draw. I mean, the Piccolo stuff was pretty cool, but Dragon Ball was transitioning into Z at the time. Designs were better. The villains were way better. Red Ribbon Piccolo can't hold a candle to Frieza and Cell. Cell is probably the best villain he
Cell
made.
is incredible.
Well, to be fair, Cody, Demon King Piccolo actually almost did take over the world and killed a lot of people and blew up an entire city.
And Cell did the one thing no villain has ever been able to do in all of Dragon Ball. He beat Goku.
He did beat Goku. He did indeed.
And, in fact, you could say that it was Vegeta that beat Cell, because he was fucking with Gohan until Vegeta distracted him.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was outside interference.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vegeta
came in with the
heel
steel
that he
chair.
is, being the heel that he is, caused the outside interference.
Yeah,
You brought
exactly.
in a ladder.
And then, and plus, I hands down, Perfect Cell. I will go into a thesis on this if you let me. But Perfect Cell is the best character design
Let's
Akira
do a
Toriyama has ever
podcast
made.
on Perfect Cell, Cody. Let's do a podcast on Perfect Cell.
No, that's too nerdy even for when I get in my hole.
Cody, we need to do something where you actually do an episode of something where you can talk positively and just talk about how great something
We've
is.
done that.
Let's do that.
The other side
Let's
did
do
that.
that.
I did that on JoJo. I did that on One Piece. I'll do that on JoJo if you let me. We did episodes on that on the other side, and we did that on BlazBlue. To catch everybody up on the plot of BlazBlue.
I do like BlazBlue.
So,
Yeah, let's.
if you ever need to figure out BlazBlue's complex ass plot, we actually did break it down on a 3-parter on the other side for the release of Chrono Phantasma to help catch everybody up. So if you're ever confused on what the hell...
The wheel of fate is turning.
Exactly.
It's a fun game. It is a fun game.
Yeah.
Just try it out.
I really love the story too. But I've gone plenty of times talked about shit I like. It's just that with anime, I am an anime fan despite the fact that 90% of anime is crap. I'm a fan because that 10%.
Oh, it's like 75.
It's 90. It's
75.
90% of everything is crap. We can all pretty much admit this.
I will say I'll give it
Sturgeon-
75 to 80.
Sturgeon's law is in full effect on anime. It's just that 10% is so good that I will deal with the fact that this medium also produces lolicon. Because
I feel like it's closer to 15 to 20%.
You know what? I'm going to say that 75% is accounting for the stuff that you may like, but that everyone else kind of thinks is crap. That's what that 15% in there.
I feel like it's closer to 15.
Of that 90, the best you're going to get is that was a thing. It left no impact on me. I didn't hate it, but I feel no emotion toward it. I watched it. It's over. It ceases to exist now in my mind. Only 10% is going to go, good shit.
I think it's 15, but I give a little bit more leeway to a lot of stuff because I'm weird. I am kind of on the weirder end of things, so that's me. I give a little bit more than 10%.
If you think I'm wrong, go look at any of the last several anime seasons. Because I think it's telling that every time the other side does a season overview, we find a whopping 2 or 3 shows to watch.
And all I'm saying simply is that it's closer to 4 or 5. For me, it'll be more like 4 or 5.
But you also have that thing where if it has a giant robot in it, you're down.
And
for those of us who don't have a hook, a one element that draws them in. Yeah.
And
there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not reaching that percentage. Like you can bump up the percent if you have a, as Dean calls it, fetish. But if you're like me and you don't,
it's like the song says, Cody. Everybody's got a kink.
I don't know, man. I think you have a fetish for that ye old manly violence. That's because you want to push all the stuff that's in shonen anime that you don't like, and you just want to, see people kick the crap out of each other.
No, because there's plenty of shonen that has people kicking the crap out of each other. Like Baki the Grappler has plenty of people kicking the crap out of each other, and that's garbage. It's not about people kicking the crap out of each other. It's about doing it well and being creative about it and having a decently written story to give them a good enough reason to kick the crap out of each other.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
And really only 2 or 3 people are doing that. Bleach is kind of a half grade because Kubo's just doing what he thinks is cool.
Is Bleach still going?
Yeah, it's on its final storyline, but
legit question.
Cody, it's been on its final storyline for 3 years.
Yeah, but
Bleach
still.
Again. Search for more money.
but still, this is the final. We're at the final boss. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to end soon, but it's not like, this is like Aizen. He could be the bad guy. Could go on after him.
If it ends, there's at least going to be a big full cover art book of the Where Are They Now? Because people care about that.
We're getting, and this whole final arc's been the best Bleach has ever been, so I ain't complaining. Kubo's is like, I got nothing to lose. It's over after this. Just fucking throw it all in. It's like, these Quincy's are amazing. This new villain is amazing.
When we're doing the 10,000th episode of the A3K podcast, we'll still be talking about One Piece. Well, you guys will.
It's still going to be good.
10,000 will be dead.
Hey, guys, have you watched the latest Gundam series? They brought back Gundam Wing again.
Did they bring everybody back from Gundam Wing?
They brought... Did you hear that Cody's doing the voice of General Septim's son?
Daddy! I miss my daddy! Daddy, how come you never take me to the park?
Can we get the first interview for you for that one when it does happen?
I hope that during the 10,000th A3K podcast, my brain in a jar is there when it's like, Robotech again? Come on, let the beast die!
Yay! More mech anime!
I've
Yay!
just gone mad by that point, and I permanently talk like Colonel Septim or General Septim, whatever.
Hopefully,
Laughing when I talk.
hopefully, if my brain's still in a jar, I'll be enjoying the newest anime reboot for One Piece. It'll actually have, consistently decent animation.
One Piece will still be going. By then we will have figured out cloning, and Oda will have cloned himself to make sure that One Piece keeps going. And
No,
it'll
I think
be
he has
One
a set
Piece.
end. It's just that he's even said this, and I totally buy it by the way he does things.
He told
He
the
has-
dying kid the ending.
He has set things. He just gets so wrapped up in not only details but just having fun doing stuff that he said at one point one of the Straw Hats is going to die next year, and then the next year came and nothing happened. Another year came and the Going Merry went up in flames. So he knew, or no, it wasn't next year. He said it would be like in a couple months, and then it was the following year that the Going Merry went up in flames because he doesn't tell you he stretches it out. He's just like he doesn't want to rush it. He has his ideas of what to do, but he takes his time, and yet still has better pacing than Bleach.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought I heard. I forget where I heard this. I know
That does
first.
not sway my opinion on Oda having a clone to keep the series going years from now.
But yeah, at least that he won't keep it going forever. Like,
Yeah,
sure.
It will end at some point because he has.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he has a set ending.
Yeah, he has an ending in mind. It's been taking a while to get to it. I think originally he wanted One Piece to only last like 5 years, and look where we are now.
Uh-huh.
He said at least we're halfway through.
I think he said that during Alabasta too.
No, he said that because when they crossed Fishman Island, because that's the halfway point of the Grand Line, so they're halfway done.
Yeah, but he said that before too. I know at one point.
No, because you have to get to the Red Line to get halfway through the Grand Line, so that would be impossible for him to be halfway through the series.
I know he said it at least once before that point because he said that at least twice.
He might have said that back when he only wanted this to go for 5 years. So
Probably, yeah.
now that he knows it just keeps going, it can.
Well,
It's
guys,
way
I
better.
want to ask, aside from One Piece, which will never end, Colton, tell me, what else have you been watching? What have you been up to?
I've actually been watching stuff. I mean, aside from editing my super long last episode of the podcast because it was our second anniversary of Life Lessons, the Gintama manga cast. That was fun to do. Not fun to edit. That took a little longer than I wanted it to, but it's out. So
Colton, I figured you would have learned something from yours truly right now. 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, well, I like to go in deep with Gintama. I like to go all out, but that's neither here nor there. I've been trying
to
watch.
Go in, you like to go in deep, and you like to go out. You like to go in deep, and you like to go out. You like to go in deep, and then you like to go out. Is what you're saying.
Oh, shut up, David. I love you. Anyway, I've been trying to watch a few new shows from the current season. I don't know what the hell is up with Punchline. Punchline scares the living shit out of me. I can't make sense out of anything that happens in that show. I think the world blew up at least 3 to 4 times in that show. It's pretty ridiculous. I'm not sure if I'll keep watching it. Main character literally powers up by looking at girls' underwear, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep watching the show any longer. But I do recommend that people should check out the first episode of My Love Story, which I don't.
Love story.
Jokes. No, but My Love Story is actually it's pretty good, especially for a shoujo, and it's also being animated by Madhouse, so that should give you enough reason to watch it there. It's like I think the show could actually turn out to be a good romantic comedy. That's not something I ever say because I don't like romantic comedies, and I don't usually care for shoujo. That's more of JD's thing. But from what I've watched, it looks beautiful. I'm loving all the characters. Like all the characters actually feel genuine. Like there's no stupid love triangle bullshit. Well, okay, maybe a little bit, but it's actually believable. It's not so overly dramatized. It's actually enjoyable, and even if you don't like shoujo, I think people should still watch it. And I guess lastly, I finally got around to watching the first episode of Love Live.
You poor guy.
Brave man.
Do you need to talk to somebody? Do you need a hug?
Now, Cody, I know you're not
So
going to
brave.
believe me. I know you're not going to believe me, but I thought the first episode wasn't bad. It was.
Well, yeah, I don't believe you, but we've established things about your taste.
Look,
Shut up,
Cody. He's brave. He's very brave, Cody.
Might be
he's doing
Stockholm
this in
syndrome.
sight.
It's also a
Also,
possibility.
Jack is playing the games. So they're doing a thing for Love Live. Just they're being very brave for the network. So Colton and Jack, I just want to say thank you guys. What you're doing, I have the utmost respect and admiration for what you're doing. It's very brave.
I do want to say before I finish that Love Live, I totally was going into this expecting it to be as sleazy as possible, but it's actually pretty family friendly. It's not that bad. So far. So far. I mean, at most it's bland. Music's kind of okay. It's animated by Sunrise, so I'll watch anything made by those guys. They're responsible, for those who don't know, for Cowboy Bebop.
Not familiar.
Hey now, don't be disingenuous. They animated Cowboy Bebop.
And they're also actually behind the animation for a lot of Gintama. So
Gintama was
You're
bad.
obligated by blood. You're obligated by blood.
pretty much, yeah.
What's that? Gintama? What is that? Like some kind of new mech show or something?
There are mechs. I know there's an entire arc.
Really?
There is an entire arc where they parody Gundam, but they keep the Gundam's faces Mosaic, even though they're animated by Sunrise, so they can actually get away with it.
So they wouldn't sue themselves.
I guess, yeah. But anyway, I don't think Love Live's bad, but it's not good, I guess. It's okay. It's whatever. It airs on the Disney Channel in Japan, so I guess it's not that objectionable. I thought it was going to be a lot worse.
So it's mostly harmless, is what you're saying so far.
It's harmless, at least. Yes, that's what
Colton, did you say Mosaic?
Yeah, is that not the word? I usually don't know how to word.
It's pronounced mosaic.
Mosaic. It sounds like a cartoon villain. The evil fortress of Mosaic.
I really
Tolkien monster.
Is that not how it's pronounced?
That's
I'm usually very bad
Mosaic.
at pronunciation.
You switch the I and the A.
Oh god,
It's mosaic.
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 I do podcasts, guys. I know how to talk.
In the forest of Trembil, there is the dreaded Mosaic.
Don't worry. For the longest
We
time,
talk words on the internet good.
I used to always say the word "enway" as "NUI" because I never heard it. It's like I read it, but does not compute.
Dean, what have you been up to? What have you been dotting?
Let's see. Anime-wise, I was out of the game for a while, and I pick up random manga.
What else? What else have you been doing?
Well, no. I'm just telling you how I've been trying to catch up. I take a look at just random manga that I find at the local library, and I tend to talk about it on the Project After site, which is fun. I'm finding good things. I'm finding bad things because that's life. I have been dabbling in Food Wars. Reason being, I was a chef for 15 years. And my favorite manga, one of my most favorite manga, is one called Iron Walk Yan. And it is about Chinese cooking in Tokyo. Let's say you took Dragon Ball's, the awesome power of Dragon Ball Z, and the pageantry and awesomeness of Iron Chef, and made them have a baby, you would have Iron Walk Jen.
That sounds amazing.
Food Wars is kind of has that too. It has that over-the-top attitude, but it has like everything they've been throwing into shonen, which makes it good and bad in a good way. It's one of those things that if I were not a chef, I would probably be like, ew, anime snob. But since I am a chef, I can forgive a lot of it, much like I did that bread anime for a while there, which made no sense for the most part. Not from the professional standpoint, but oh god, the hands of God.
I hear things about that series. Yes, I do.
I've been hearing things about Food Wars, and I know a lot of people are all up in their shit about it. But hey, I watched Aquarion. I have no room to talk.
We all have something bad. I could look down on the shelf and tell you some stories, but
Bad
those are
taste
stories
pride,
for another
baby.
day.
Bad taste pride.
The biggest thing I've been doing recently, I've been going retro. You see this right here? That's an Atari 2600.
Wow.
I traded a local store for that for some hardware I had, and the reason I'm doing that isn't really just for me. My son, he watches me play video games from time to time. He likes playing the little flash ones, and I said, you know what? He's only 3, but I think he can handle an Atari Junior. But when I saw that on the shelf, I'm like, yes, because I only had heavy 6s, all the switches, and this, that, and the other. He's like, he's not going to get that. He can press a button. Done. So we've been having fun with that, playing some of the old stuff my dad got me back when he was showing me the 2600 when I was 4 and stuff. So it's very very interesting stuff.
You'd be surprised what a 3-year-old can do. I got my NES at 3, and
yeah, I know. It's like he does all the classic ones, but I think the one he likes the most, he likes to watch me play my favorite Atari game, which is Laser Blast. It's a Activision game where you're a little flying saucer and you have to shoot these turrets that are moving back and forth and can aim at you. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. And I like yard sailing, so I found a lot of good things today. A lot of good things. You just don't know. For $5, I've gotten things like Xenogears, Final Fantasy Tactics. This is PlayStation 1 galore, the Siphon Filter games, all 3 Gran Turismos. Again, this was all just $5. The final thing I want to talk a little bit about is some of you who know about me, you know I like RPGs, tabletop, and playing D&D for a long time. And I heard of one called Golden Sky Stories. Now, again, going with the fact I have a kid, I don't want the first introduction to tabletop role-playing be, okay, I put my axe in his face and then I put my foot in his eye so that I pull the axe out of it. No, I don't want that to be the case. Golden Sky Stories is a Japanese tabletop game that has been translated by the same group that notoriously translated the Maid RPG, which some of you may have heard of. Yes, no? Well, let's just say that it was a maid RPG which basically follows every harem anime, only you're the maids and you have to deal with the DM who's the master and ruler of the game. It's, why did they do that? But Golden Sky Stories is aimed at kids who basically are little animal spirits that kind of help people out through their lives, try and make them happy, make them more prosperous. I can see that as a good way to get a kid introduced to doing things like the idea of dice and that sort of thing. Obviously not a 3-year-old, but it's good to bone up on these things because they get complicated. So if you want to check it out, let's see if I remember the company off the top of my head. Yes, Starline Studios. Find them online. You can see their product line of these 2 products, one that seems to be good and one that seems to be evil.
Awesome. Cody Byer, good sir.
Well, it's that time again, but before it's that time again, of course, I must do my usual plugs. You can find my amazing, fantastic webcomic, Cloud Scratcher, at www.cloudscratcher.com, which is basically a throwback to 90s animation. Did you grow up in the 90s? Did you like them Disney Afternoon, Don Bluth stuff? You're going to love Cloud Scratcher. You're going to be all over that shit. Then you're going to want to donate. You're going to love it so much you want to support it. Then you're going to want to head over to my Patreon at patreon.com/cloudscratcher. And even just any little bit helps, folks. Even just if you donate $1 a month. $1 a month. If everybody watching this podcast now give me $1 a month, I'd be able to fucking move. I don't know. But yeah, so patreon.com/cloudscratcher and cloudscratcher.com. Now that I've done my plugs, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again. It is always that time whenever I'm on this podcast. And of course, it is time for Cody Byers' album of the month, educating you folks in real music since y'all listening to the radio and J-pop and shit. I'm trying to show you a little something you might not know. This week is something a little different than anything I have ever recommended on my appearances on the A3K podcast with the album of the week. I've done hip-hop, electronica, metal, but I've never quite done jazz pop. If you folks remember a time way back when guys would get in their white suits in a smoky club, and then the curtain would pull over and some beautiful woman with a glittery dress would lay on top of a piano and seduce men with a song, let me take you back to that time with this week's album of the month. I've been saying month. It's album of the week, but I'm an idiot, so I've been saying album of the month, because I'm dumb. But my dumbness aside, the album of the week this week is Caro Emerald's The Shocking Miss Emerald. The second album from this particular artist, who, if you're a viewer in Europe, this probably isn't exactly underground to you. She's quite huge in Europe, but here in America, no. So let's help change that, people. Basically, yeah, her music is essentially a time capsule. It feels like someone went back in time and recorded a woman at a lounge, like singing in a lounge, with a smiling guy in a white tux playing the piano behind her, except with more modern instrumentation and modern musical sensibilities. You will forget that this was recorded in the modern age until the time you start hearing record scratching. And this is some excellent shit. Technically it is pop, but it is very much that old school jazz with a lot of soul. And just really, really fun stuff. And her debut album was pretty great. And it was #1 in the Dutch charts and huge in Europe. But I think this one was way better because I enjoyed her first album. But this album was a huge step up. It was an amazing album, going with all kinds of different directions in terms. This is a little bouncier. This one's a little smoother. This one's a little slower, with much more varied subject matter in the lyrics. So you get a lot more interesting stuff, from a tribute to a fashion designer to even a song that's basically reverse Tootsie, of her disguising herself as a man, which is my girlfriend's favorite song, and I'm starting to wonder why. But yeah, and even just a song about it having a hangover. So there's one for you, David. Liquid Lunch. So yeah, this is some great stuff.
That one time, God.
So this is some great stuff, and probably unlike anything y'all are listening to right now. So if you want to try something a little different than the more safe genres that I'm sure y'all just kind of fall back on because you know you're going to like it, try something a little different, something you know that's going to be quality. Fucking huge overseas, so if you're an American, why don't you get your little cosmopolitan with The Shocking Miss Emerald from Caro Emerald. And that is the album of the week.
The Shocking Miss Emerald.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Jeffrey Major. Some of you out there on the interwebs may know me simply by my initials, DJM. Right now, I'm not doing any other podcasts other than the A3K because Fanny Pack Wrestling is on a bit of a break after WrestleMania and WrestleCon, but we did talk about all of those shows. NXT, the indie shows, WWN Live, and of course, WrestleMania 31 over at FannyPackWrestling.com. Shooting the Shit with Two Nerdy Black Guys. Newest episode, we talked with James Bartholomew of Indie Love, covering indie gaming and how America is going to steal Karen Gillan from Great Britain. Also, right now, I'm technically kind of at a con. I'm at Midwest Media Expo as we're recording this, except it's only a couple of minutes away from my house, so as soon as we're done, I'm going back, because conventions are fun. If you haven't gone to one, you should go. They're fun.
They are.
Everything else, DeltaJulietMike.com. The next episode of the Nanashi Anime Podcast is in production. I just talked with Lily today. She's doing okay, so we're going to get that out soon. This has been the 114th episode of the A3K Podcast for Christopher Kinsey, a.k.a. Dean the Adequate. For Mr. Cody Byer and for Colton of the Manga Corner, we are here every Saturday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on the YouTubes at A3K TV. Follow us on Twitter at Anime3000. That's Anime3000. Facebook is the same. Tumblr is the same. Yes. With all the shit we talk, we do have a Tumblr. Yes. And A3K TV on YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast in iTunes. Get it right there when it's updated every single time. You'll hear the other side. You'll hear the Manga Corner. You'll hear two guys and a mic. You'll hear this very show, the A3K podcast, and you'll also hear the Nanashi Anime podcast, all from anime3000.com. You can subscribe in iTunes. You can subscribe in Stitcher Radio, or you can head on over to anime3000.com. Get the RSS feed, put it in your phone, put it in your Twitter machine, put it in your BlackBerry if you want to. Just head on over to anime3000.com. This has been the A3K podcast, everyone. Thanks for watching live, and thank you for listening.
Predictable!
And that is a show.
But it's still live.
No, we have to edit the end.
We cut that out. That gets cut out.
The feed. Cut the feed. I'm about the barrel.
Roll out the barrel.
We'll have a barrel of fun.
That is A3K 114. The audio podcast is saved, so Sean... I know. I'm talking to Sean right now. Sean, we have an audio podcast. We're good to go. Good night, everybody.